Hello Ospreys, I'm Jack Beard.
And I'm Carly Kramer. This week on Nest News, we hear about the cigarette problem on campus.
And what does President Szymanski have in store for UNF? Stay tuned for this and more.
Nest News starts right now.
As many of you know, UNF is a smoke-free campus, but some Ospreys don't actually follow that rule.
And when people smoke on campus, they usually leave their cigarette butts on the ground. The Healthy Ospreys decided to do something about that.
You don't realize how much of something you have until you go ahead and count it. That's exactly what the Healthy Osprey ambassadors are doing when it comes to cigarette butts on campus.
We're out here to clean up our campus, and then people are going to get these baggies and a pair of gloves, and they're supposed to fill up the bag with cigarette butts. And they'll get a campus map, and we've highlighted hot spots on campus where there have been people known to smoke in these areas.
The club is hoping to spread the word to fellow Ospreys that UNF is a smoke-free campus, and that policy should not be overlooked.
It's important to be aware of the campus policies. It's actually a smoke-free campus, but unfortunately not everyone knows that, and not everyone complies with that.
This is Ashlyn Glocky with Spinnaker News.
The Healthy Ospreys have made a noticeable impact here on campus and are hoping to raise visibility of the regulations.
Noah Horkler has been released from the UNF basketball team after he violated team rules. UNF Athletics Director Lee Moon Sr. did not comment on the specifics of the situation, stating a player privacy is top priority. He did say that it can be a gambit of things that you violate our rules within the university athletic department policies. Continuing on to say that each individual team has some of their own rules and the coaches make those determinations as how they look at the violation of rules of different severity.
Student governments had held the presidential debate for the next student body president here at UNF.
In the debate between candidates of the Forward Party and the Frontier Party, candidates made their marks for the presidential race.
And it wouldn't just be them coming up to SG. Like most senators, I've realized, they either meet them at market days or they come up to SG themselves, which means the students are coming to SG. SG needs to go to the students.
A big theme of the night centered around student involvement on campus and general interest in student government. John Alaska of Forward thinks he has the answer, while Lee Tomlins thinks he can bring a change.
The Spinnaker asked me this question, why are students not interested in student government elections? And it's because a vast majority of them don't know what student government does. And how can you ask them to care about their leaders when they don't know what we do? And under my administration, I will be doing club visits, organization visits, resource center visits. I will make sure that my schedule is reflective of student needs.
The debates left students with an impression of who will be the future student government leader of UNF. I'm Christina Smith with Spinnaker News.
Voting is next week on March 5th and 6th. Be sure to come out and make your voice heard.
The university has recently had an opening for a provost. Let's meet the candidates.
The search for the next second command at UNF is almost over, as faculty, staff, and students get a chance to sit down and chat with the next provost. Simon Rhodes, Abby Zink, Beth Ingram, and Russell Ivey all had the chance to answer questions that are on the mind of students and faculty.
I got a local power company to build a vehicle in a Sprinter truck that takes hands-on science to underserved local schools. And our students, a lot of our earth science and some students from the School of Education come along too.
After 2008, the state just didn't have the money to honor to, I had furlough days. I had, reductions in terms of, we didn't get raises for several years, couldn't hire for several years, that kind of thing. I think you do the best that you can and you try to find other ways to support faculty.
You can bring ideas in from anywhere, and some universities are making progress. UNF could make progress too, and I don't think that the ideas that they pursued are things that would not necessarily work here.
For more updates on the story, check out unfspinnaker.com. This has been Hannah Lee with Spinnaker News.
They all seem like they do a great job here at UNF.
The newly inaugurated president, David Szymanski, has officially mandated a full review of the university's alert system. Issues with the system were noticed when the incident involving a false report of a gunman in the arena garage surfaced. Spinnaker's editor-in-chief Hannah Lee put a poll out on Twitter asking students when they received the Osprey update. Out of 261 respondents, 84% received the alert an hour after the university was made aware of the threat. UNF has hired an emergency management consultant to assess the system. The review is expected to take several weeks, but sources say it will be made available as soon as possible. Well, coming up, we have the Jonas Brothers.
And we hear about Opportunity's last day on Mars.
You're watching Nest News on Spinnaker TV.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let me tell you a little bit about the STEM. My name's Lee Gia. My friends and I have done some amazing things on this show, like flying through hurricanes, or driving Teslas, or swimming with manatees, or even floating in zero gravity. We film these things and bring them here, to the world's next great science and space show. That's where the STEM comes in. We go on adventures as an excuse to learn something. The universe is a pretty big place. There's a lot to learn. A lot that's interesting to learn. Over the next year or so, we'll be riding in the centrifuge, farm in the heart of New York City, fly a spaceship, fly President Harry Truman's Air Force One, launch some rockets, catch some rockets. Nice! Shoot video at the speed of light. Our world and universe are there, waiting to be explored. The question is, what are you waiting for?
Last words from Mars.
And a return of a childhood favorite group. We'll be talking about all this and more.
Here's your pop culture rundown.
The rumors are true. The Jonas Brothers will be releasing an EP soon. Thursday morning, they announced their new single, Sucker, which was released later that night. It currently has a lot of streams on Spotify.
The group will be doing a week-long takeover of The Late Late Show with James Corden from Monday, March 4th to Thursday, March 7th. Variety reports that the segment will kick off with a story behind their much-awaited reunion.
So what are your thoughts on the song?
The song, to be honest, in my opinion, not as good as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I was waiting for the return of the Jonas Brothers, so I think they did us right.
I agree, to some point.
To an extent, yeah.
The Opportunity rover NASA launched all the way back in 2003 has finally said its last goodbye. Back in June of 2018, a massive dust storm covered Opie, and on February 13th, the mission was called a success, and attempts to reconnect with the rover stopped.
Opportunity was planned to only last 90 days on the red planet, but held out for over 15 years, discovering that there used to be water on the planet and valuable information about rock composition, and setting the record for furthest traveled off Earth. And the rover's last words, translated, the rover said, "It's getting dark. My batteries are running low." And that makes me a little bit sad.
So sad.
It's such
I mean,
sad
it's like,
a few last
it's like
words.
Wall-E.
Yeah, it is.
But it definitely served its time there.
Definitely. So actor Luke Perry was hospitalized after he reportedly suffered a stroke. This past Wednesday, the 52-year-old is currently under observation at the hospital, and he currently plays Archie's dad on Riverdale and previously Dylan McKay on Beverly Hills 90210.
Ironically, this happened the same day that Fox announced a 6-episode revival of 90210 featuring the original cast.
Yeah, definitely keeping him in our thoughts. 52 seems a little bit young for a stroke.
Yeah, well, just my words, I hope he gets better in a speedy recovery.
Definitely.
It's been 3 long years since we've had a new Pokemon sequel, and the time for a new one has finally come. The Pokemon Sword and Shield trailer was just released this week with many new stories and paths to take.
The 2 games are coming to Nintendo Switch, aiming for a release date in the fall. So that's exciting, and there's a film coming out soon. I'm not much of a Pokemon fan myself.
I have to agree with that. So,
yeah.
Good luck to any one of the fans who are.
Yeah.
Coming up, Joseph Garrigan has our sports report.
And we'll check in with Marissa Materazzi and our weather forecast for the week.
You're watching Nest News on Spinnaker TV.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1.
let me tell you a little bit about the STEM. My name's Lee Gia. My friends and I have done some amazing things on this show, like flying through hurricanes, or driving Teslas, or swimming with manatees, or even floating in zero gravity. We film these things and bring them here, to the world's next great science and space show. That's where the STEM comes in. We go on adventures as an excuse to learn something. The universe is a pretty big place. There's a lot to learn, a lot that's interesting to learn. Over the next year or so, we'll be riding in the centrifuge, farm in the heart of New York City, fly a spaceship, fly President Harry Truman's Air Force One, launch some rockets, catch some rockets. Nice! Shoot video at the speed of light. Our world and universe are there, waiting to be explored. The question is, what are you waiting for?
So it has been one awesome week for UNF sports.
It sure has. Check in with Joseph Garrigan for more on sports.
Hey Ospreys, one of the most exciting times of the year in sports is upon us. Baseball is in full swing and basketball is reaching its peak, heading into the March Madness. Despite the loss of leading scorer Noah Horkler for unspecified violation of team rules, the Osprey men enter the tournament riding a 6-game winning streak. The final game of the regular season was a 77-67 win here at the UNF Arena. 4 Ospreys scored in double figures with junior Garrett Sams leading the way, 23 points and 11 rebounds. Freshman Carter Hendrickson had a career high with 19 points. Here's head coach Matthew Driscoll after the big win.
And I couldn't be more proud of what these guys have done. I couldn't be more proud of how they persevered. I couldn't be more proud of how they've endured.
The Ospreys will host a quarterfinal game in the A-Sun Conference Tournament Monday night at UNF Arena against an opponent to be determined. On the women's side of things, with only the regular season finale remaining, the Ospreys women have a 2-game winning streak of their own. Redshirt sophomore Jazz Bond filled the stat sheet with 22 points and 8 rebounds and 5 blocks on the night. Junior guard Janisha Green also had a big game with 18 points and 10 rebounds in the win. Their final regular season game will be Tuesday night at UNF Arena against NJIT. Switching gears to baseball, the season is off and running, and so are the Ospreys with a record of a 7-3 overall and a 2-game win streak. They play again Friday against Western Kentucky at the Cox Diamond Invitational in Pensacola, Florida. I'm Joseph Garrigan, and this has been your sports update. Back to you.
Thank you, Joseph. Say, Jack, the weather has been pretty decent recently.
It sure has. Looks like we're actually getting back to those summer weathers. Here's Marissa Matarazzi with more.
Thank you, Jack and Carly. Let's see what weather we will be having today. Get ready for PM thunderstorms, Ospreys. Today will be sunny throughout the day, up until the evening. We will have a high of 74 and a low of 62, with a 50% chance of rain. Saturday brings a high of 75 and a low of 62 and more evening showers. A 60% chance of them to be exact. Only a 10% chance of showers on Sunday, but still expect the day to be fairly cloudy. Monday and Tuesday will be a repeat of winter with a high of 67 and a low of 50 on Monday. It'll be even cooler on Tuesday with a high of 59 and a low of 39. This has been your Nest News weather forecast. I'm Marissa Matarazzi. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Marissa. Well, that's all we have for you today, Ospreys.
Thank you so much for joining us this week, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, both at UNF Spinnaker.
And while you're at it, subscribe to our YouTube channel and our newsletter at unfspinnaker.com.
Join us for our next show on March 8th.
We'll see you next time, Ospreys.